Welcome back to another edition of Bourbon Kingdom. I'm David.
And I'm Zach.
And today we are going to kind of review / pick our favorite one out of these two bottles. We're going to kind of review Sam Houston and Calumet, both 15-year bourbons.
Yeah, so we figured we'd switch up our little bourbon battle that we like to do. And we thought we'd just do two this week. And literally, you really can't get much more similar from two different spots than Calumet 15,
Yep.
Sam Houston 15.
Mm-hmm.
They even share the same mash bill. So we're like, most people I think compare these two naturally against one another anyways. So we just kind of thought, you know what, let's just go ahead
Let's
and
do it.
give it a shot. So really quick, while he's sitting here pouring them, let's talk a little bit about Sam Houston 15. So Sam Houston 15 is actually a good bottle that you can find reasonably pretty. I don't want to say everywhere because I don't think you can find it everywhere, but a lot of different places, a lot of major cities, I think you can find it in different parts of the country. And the cool thing about that is they do basically, I don't want to say different blends, but they'll, I guess technically blend a couple barrels together.
Yeah.
And then they'll do them in batches. Like this one is Kentucky Batch 2. And, I've owned like an Indiana one and a Tennessee one before. And they just have just little things that are a little different about them. I've had one that was kind of wild, very, very different. But they're normally just great, fantastic. This one's 103 proof, like we already said before. It's a 15-year. The mash bill, which we've already talked about, they're already both the same mash bill, but it's 74% corn, 18% rye, and 8% malted barley. And Sam Houston comes in at $150, which is not cheap. It's basically $10 a year. So, and then your Calumet Farms 15-year, that's also going to be around 105 proof, very, very similar to your Sam Houston. And then the mash bill is the exact same. I already said that, 74% corn, 18% rye, and 8% malted barley. And the price point's even similar too, with $154. So
No, I didn't pay $154 for mine. I paid for the Calumet. I paid at $133, something like that.
Yeah,
so
that's better. It's obviously a lot better.
I think if you go to some of the big box stores, Evergreen or Liquor Barn, if you see it, it's going to be somewhere right
Sure.
$129, $125.
Costco.
Yeah, any of those.
Get really cheap.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Costco will be even less. Yeah.
For sure. So, but anyways, yeah. Ready to go? Ready to start this?
Yeah. Left to right.
Going left to right?
Yep. That's Calumet.
Okay.
I think right away with the Calumet, I get like a fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Fruit, but I feel like it also maybe in mine just gets a little leathery in there. I don't know if you get that in yours.
I don't get a lot of leather. I do get fruit. It's like a strawberry note that I'm getting there. Maybe like a.
There's an oak to it, but I feel like everything's gonna have an oak to it because it's 15 years. It's been sitting in a barrel for 15 years.
Yeah, anything. I would agree. Also getting a little bit of a corn note, a little bit. I definitely think it's strawberries I'm smelling. Maybe a hint of cherry. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I really like that. So right off the front of the palate, you get a lot of oak and a lot of spice. And then that turns into honestly a sweet fruit.
Yes.
And then it goes really smoky after that. I really like that. I really dig that.
Yeah. I'm enjoying that.
Finish is pretty strong, but it's a little dry.
I think that's I told you I smelled a little bit of tobacco on the front. I think you definitely taste it on the back end of it.
Yeah.
And I think that's that dryness, that what's creating that dryness.
I really like that. There's some really good sweetness though in that finish. That's actually really, really good.
Yeah.
I dig that for sure. You can reach over for this.
All right. Cleanse the palate.
Yeah.
And that's vastly different than the 14-year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So what I really like about the Sam Houston is you get really nice notes of fruit, and then it's like maple on there, like just like some.
Oh, I smell the maple in there for sure.
Yeah,
Like
like the
really,
rich maple of it. It's really nice.
And it has a nuttiness, I think, in the smell too.
It's almost like a bakery kind of like note to it, like a peanut like note, like a muffin or something along those lines. Maybe like a pancake or something. It's really good though.
Now, that doesn't have the hit that the Calumet has on it right at the get go.
No, you're not getting the the spice with that and stuff that you got with that. You are getting a lot of sweet notes with that. It's very, but it's like a sweet like oak note to it. It's not like super fruity. Like I think this one you can taste the age a lot more in it, but it's not over oaked at all.
Yeah. It's okay. Like I do taste the sweetness in the finish, but it doesn't have a long finish. I don't think. Like it's not staying with me.
I would agree. I think the Calumet, I'll say it right at some point in time. I'm pretty sure I will.
Calumet.
Yeah. I think that has a better finish.
Yes.
I think the Sam Houston has a better nose. And
I would agree with that.
The palate, I think, honestly, just comes down to what you want. Like, I think if you want something a little bit more fruity, a little bit more dessert-ish, as long as you're okay with, like, that spice in the beginning of it, I think you go with that, with the Calumet 15. I'm having a stroke over here as I'm sitting here trying to get it out. And then the Sam Houston 15-year, I think it's just a lot more of that traditionally older kind of bourbon where you get a little bit more of the oak notes out of it, a lot more of the caramel notes out of it, and like a corn note with it as well, which I think is still really, really good.
Yes. It's tough.
Yeah. Which one are you going with?
Gotta taste it again.
All right, I understand.
I think, if I'm gonna be honest, I think I prefer the Sam Houston.
Okay.
I like the front end of the Sam Houston a lot.
Yeah.
I like the finish of the Calumet a whole lot. This one stays with you a lot longer than this one does.
Yeah, I agree. I would go with the Sam Houston as well. And that's not saying that this bottle isn't good. I think it is really good.
Yeah, it's good.
I just think I like two parts of this more than the one part of that.
Correct.
So
I agree. I think I agree with that.
I think it's honestly what it comes down to. These are honestly two really, really nice bottles. Really good bottles.
They're good.
Highly recommend trying. If you all haven't had them before, I think this one will be harder for people to enjoy than this one. Like if you're not really used to it, I think this is more of like what a traditional bourbon drinker would maybe want. And I think this one drinks with just so much fruit and sweetness to it. I think if you're newer to bourbon, I think you'd almost like this one more. That's not saying anything negative or bad. I'm just honestly just giving an opinion on that. But yeah, I do think they're both really good in their own right.
They're both worth trying for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
If you are in the market for $120 bourbon, these are ones to consider.
Yeah.
I don't think you can go wrong with either one of them. They are, I think they're complex enough that you're going to get enough out of them to feel like you spent $120 in a good way.
Sure.
So
I would agree. Totally agree.
And, I don't really know that there's any secondary market on them You just have to kind of enjoy them for what they are.
Yeah.
And they are an expensive bourbon.
That's true.
That tastes good.
Yeah.
So
I would agree. Totally
I would
agree.
say if you're looking to spend $120 on $120 or above on something, these are worth a look.
I'm gonna say at least give it a try at a bar, restaurant kind of situation. I don't know if I'd flat out say buy it, just because that's so much money to where it's gonna be. That's a lot of money if justify buying something without ever trying it. So I
definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
I think you definitely want to try it first.
So,
and I'm sure there's a lot of bars that will have it.
Hopefully. It's just amazing to me. The more I'm sitting here thinking about this, I feel like I'm saying more and more and more about trying before you buy it, because price points in bourbon are just getting higher and higher and higher.
You usually don't drive a car without test driving it first.
It's true. That's true.
So it's not necessarily a bad thing to find a place that will have the bourbons that you are wanting to potentially buy and pick up. Unless you're just in it for the secondary value of things, and then buy whatever you buy.
Yeah, good luck.
So, yeah, good luck.
All right. Well, if you like the video, go ahead and give us a like and hit that subscribe button. And if you still want to follow us on Facebook, then give us a look on Facebook at Bourbon Kingdom, where we try to post when we see updates on anything going on with bourbon releases, or we find anything around the Kentucky area. And yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah. So until next time, please enjoy your bourbon and enjoy it whatever way you like.
Sure.
See ya.